Well, good morning, everybody. So, getting a little later start today. Woke up, was going to get out of bed about 7ish, but there were bad thunderstorms. So I stayed in bed, watched a little YouTube and Netflix. Now, obviously, I'm inside painting. You ask why I had to stay asleep while in bed. Well, the reason is everything I needed was outside. And I wasn't going to go out there and open up, first off, my totes where like paintbrushes and stuff were and get everything wet, myself included. And it's a Sunday. Why not take a little extra long in the mattress? So yeah, today I don't know what I'll actually get done, but we are definitely gonna paint this. This all painted up. We will get it secured into the van today. Hopefully I can get countertops on. This one has to have a very large hole drilled inside. That needs some sanding. It's not bad. Has to have a very large hole drilled in the top for the kitchen sink. So we have to do that. And again, I'm not sure how well the laminate stuff, that polyboard wall, whatever it was called, how well it really adhered to the plywood. So we may end up putting screws all the way around that. I really hope not, because I think I'd really like it not to have those screws all the way around it. I think it just looked tacky. But I don't have money for uh, real nice wood to put on top. So maybe down the road, if the polywall didn't adhere and we have to use screws, maybe down the road. So okay, guys, I'm gonna get painting. All right, folks. Countertops, I'm not sure if I like them or not. I got the cabinet all painted. It keeps wanting to rain. I was going to do the shelf above the kitchen, but it keeps wanting to rain, and I ran into a problem yesterday. Excuse me. My lights quit working. I was having issues with them when I bought the van. I replaced the headlights. It didn't really get any better. I didn't have high beams. And when I was coming home, actually, I think it was the day before, I turned on the lights. I thought they were working. It wasn't dark, but I turned them on for safety. When I pulled back into the farm, I noticed they weren't on. Just the running lights were on. I've been messing with everything. I'm not getting any power to the headlights themselves. Fuses are all good. So my only guess is light switch is bad. So I think I'm going to run into town and try to buy a light switch and see if we can switch that out, because I have to have lights, obviously, no matter what. So for right now, I don't know if I'll get anything else in the build done today, but maybe I'll show you how to change the light switch. All right, we'll be back. All right, so we got the light switch. So we're gonna have to take the handle off here. You have to reach up in here and push a little button on top to get that out. And I'll have to take these two screws out and pull this out, see if we can't get to that light switch. So I don't think you guys will be able to see anything with me in there. I'll let you know how it goes. Well, turns out it was not the light switch. I changed the light switch and nothing happened. So I put the old one back in. That's why I spent 35 bucks, right? So I'll take that back when I go to town. But then I started taking apart the steering column because you got the high beam switch. Thinking, well, see what's wrong with that. Got the steering column all torn apart, and all it was a darn plug had come loose. It had kicked out a little bit. So easy fix, just a little aggravating. And I wasted all the time going to town because, I figured it had to be the switch, right? But we got lights. It looks like I may even have high beams. It's bright out, so it's kind of hard to tell, but I think I do. Well, I think I'm going to try to get started on this little cabinet shelf or whatever over here. It's not going to be big. It's only going to come down, maybe 6 inches. Just a little nook for maybe spices, things like that, for when you're cooking, because this is going to be my cook surface here. So I've already got 4 pieces of wood cut at 18 inches to make the box. And then I've got a wire here that I ran, because I have one more of these overhead lights that you probably can't see, that I'd put on the bottom of the cabinet to illuminate the cooking service nicer. So I think I'm going to get started with that. It's cool. It hasn't cooled down, but the humidity finally dropped a little bit this afternoon, and it feels much better. It's supposed to be a low of 60 tonight. So I'm thinking about christening her, sleeping in here tonight. We'll see. Okay, guys, I'm going to get started on the box. Okay, so we changed our minds again, guys. The above the kitchen counter only has 24 inches of height. If I put like a 7-inch, even a 7-inch cubby up there, that drops me to 17 inches. The stove I'm going to buy, the top of the surround, it's a camp stove. The top of the surround will it's 14 inches tall. So that's only given me 3 inches between the top of the windbreak of it, the sides, and the cubby. So I don't think I'd like that. There wouldn't be enough room to get around, and so I'm probably not going to do that. What I do need to do is make a template so I can cut the hole out of the countertop for the kitchen sink counter. Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to use those countertops or not. I'm not sure yet. But either way, I got to make a template. And it's getting later in the evening, so might as well at least try to accomplish something. So I cut this cardboard out to the size of the cabinet top. And I drew in the stringers. So now this sink has to fit in this space. So I'm going to go ahead and try to make a template, and we'll see if the sink will fit through it, and also we will see if the cupboard will be happy with the template. Got to make sure it fits in between these stringers, and then I can drop the sink in the cardboard and make sure it's where I want it in the cabinet. So I like this edge and that edge. Let's see what we've got here. We've got about a 1/2 inch. It's good. That's good. So now I got to come up here and do a 1/2 inch. Half inch here. Not exactly square. It's all right. We can adjust for that. We'll go 1/2 inch here. 1/2 inch here. Connect the dots. Then I got to find something that matches this radius and bring that in a 1/2 inch. Pretty darn close, but not quite close enough. What do we got? Where's that little cement can I had? That seemed to be a pretty nice radius. Okay, that's a good radius. Yeah, every time I decide I want to do something, I change my mind. But, you know, I don't want to make something and it turn, just be crud or, And right now it's turning out really nice. It's okay. I'm going to go ahead and cut this out, my razor knife, and then we'll fit it, guys. Okay, so I cut out the template. Fits around the sink nicely. I have the dullest razor knife, and every time I went to Lowe's, I forgot to get more razors. But, okay, so it's good. This is forward. Now, drop her in. And we screwed up. Oh, no. Oh, I didn't. I didn't think I was over far enough. I realized there's no edge right here because the countertop's not on it. Huh. Okay. Now, that will fit perfectly. And it brings the sink over as far as it can. I've got a water bottle here. Let me see how close that's going to be. Because I am going to have 2 of these in the sink compartment. The problem with the water jugs I already had one, so I just figured I'd get the same kind. The tailpiece doesn't work with the jug. So the gray tank, which is basically just going to drain the sink water, is basically you have to have the top cut out of it. So no matter which way I do it, it comes out the same. It'd be nice to move that over a little bit. But I like the area up here. I've got plenty of room back here for my water faucet. A little bit of space here, I can put soap, whatever, you know what I mean. Which where normally put around your sink. Why am I not putting this on the ground so it's a little easier? I've got to put the door on. I've got a little room behind the sink, so I could put Velcro my toothbrush cup. Maybe that's where you put the soap dispenser on the back, and then you've got extra room. So yeah, I like the way this is going to go. I'm just going to have to cut a big hole in the top of the water tank. That's just all there is to it. There's no way to change that. I mean, yeah, I'm just going to cut the front of it out. That'll go in there. Maybe have to cut a little more of that out. So I'll take a picture of it and let you guys see what I'm talking about there. But yeah, I think this is going to work out pretty good. Gives me the most space in here. If I put two of these close together, I could put a rack all the way up to the countertop to keep things in, and just advantage of every little bit of space. All right, so I decided I am going to cut the kitchen countertop out tonight. It'll give me a better chance to decide if I like it or not. So I've taped the template to the countertop. I'm going to go ahead and trace a line, get the jigsaw out, cut it out, and we'll test fit the sink. We'll see what we think. So after drilling one pilot hole, I started the jigsaw to go around the cutout. Then we're going to take the sink and test fit it. And it's a little tight. There's some spots I need to mark and trim down. We're going to do this a couple times. Then we finally get it to where we want it here. And then we can go throw it inside and see how it works. Well, it turned out to be an okay day. Glad I got my lights fixed. Got that cabinet all painted. I put the door back on it. Sink all set in that countertop. If I decide to keep that countertop, I'm not sure. It's not as nice as the rest of the cabinet. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. But it is actually supposed to cool off tonight. It's still gonna be hot tomorrow, but tonight is supposed to be like 65 degrees. So I think we're gonna sleep in here tonight. I've been wanting to test her out with the bed platform and everything. Just be it. Plus, I miss being outside in the van. In the house, I'd rather be outside. I know you're inside a van, but still rather be out here. And then it gives me an idea how the fan feels. I'm just gonna use my twin mattress or it's not even a twin. This thing is a bunk 30 inches. And it's kind of curved up because I'm not going to cut it down just for one night. I don't have 75 inches of space in here. But, either way, I can put the other cabinet in tomorrow. Maybe I can find some trim for the ceiling and the wall. Since I'm not going to put that cabinet of a nook, whatever you want to call it, above the kitchen, I can get that. If I get some trim, I can get the other light put up, because I have one more light that I figured it'd be nice to be right above your cooking, so you don't have shadows. But other than deciding on the countertops, slapping the kitchen sink cabinet in here, 2 pieces of trim and a little bit of paint, this build is done. And I'm happy with it. I really am. I mean, obviously the kitchen cabinet or sink cabinet's not in here yet, but I'm thrilled how it's turning out. I've got a lot of space to keep my goods. I've got my backpack. I've got stuff that I like to do outside. I think I'm gonna have to get some hooks. I can mount my fly rod, my fishing pole up there and back. Yeah, it's really gonna turn out to be a great use of space, I believe. I wish I could have had a cabinet up front on top, but I want the vertical room above the cooking surface. And if that changes down the road, I can always add one. So, all right, that's it for tonight. Thank you for watching, subscribing, commenting, sharing, and liking, and all those good things. Really helps out the channel. And as always, you guys have a great morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are. And we'll see you tomorrow on Jelly Bean Outdoors.